Oh no. Joe, we're in the middle of the ocean and Sports Mag is about to start.
Tanner, how did we get to the middle of the ocean? There's no way we'll get back to the studio in time, and we've got so many sports to talk about, like tennis sports and basketball sports and maybe even football sports.
So many sports.
I mean, there was a big game last night. Oregon and Colorado played in basketball, and I don't know what the result was.
Who's going to talk about these highlights?
Tanner, we're anchoring together for the first time. I don't know if we can do this.
Joe, do you trust me?
Tanner, never let go. I'm flying, Tanner. I'm flying!
Sports Mag starts next. To succeed, I have to believe every night in my heart that I am the best.
Former buff John Cena said those words before winning the WWE World Championship at WrestleMania 22 in April of 2006.
John recently suffered an injury that will sideline him for 6 months. Cena serves as their inspiration to put on the best sports show of all time for all of you today.
This one's for John. If you got the reference there, you win. Welcome to Sports Mag. I'm Joe Paris.
And I'm Tanner Bergamo. Colorado men's basketball took on Oregon Thursday night. Let's take a look at how they did.
The Buffs start the first half with Josh Fortune rushing down the court looking for the other Josh. Josh got in the middle and he finds him there. Great basket. Scott has the ball again, but he has two defenders on him. He passes it over to Trayshawn Fletcher, who is there, and he nails a three-pointer for the Buffs team. The Buffs finally have some ball movement, and they are able to set up Fletcher. They pass the ball around, and boom, three-point jumper. Look at this. Kaboom. Buffs trail at the beginning of the second half, 44-24. George King goes up to shoot from the three, but misses. Is able to get his own offensive rebound. Watch this. Makes the layup instead. Good choice. With 6 minutes left in the game, running down towards the end, King passes it to Wes Gordon, who finds Scott, who finds Miller and gets the layup. Scott led CU with 17 points. George King scored 16, and Miller had 10 points. The rest of the team combined just 13 points. Colorado died of dysentery to the Oregon Trail. Final score, 76-56. Fact: the men's basketball team performs better at home than they do on the road. Fact: I can personally fix this. And fact: here are 3 ways the Buffs can perform better on the road. Number 1, they need to come out hot. Slow starts have plagued the Buffaloes all year long, and digging out of a hole on the road has not treated the Buffs well. 2, Josh Scott, give him the ball. Stop being cute. It isn't cute. It's ugly. Give Big 40 the ball. Let him take over the game. He is a big boy, 6'10" to be exact. 3, make more baskets than the other team. Yes, that sounds naive, but the Buffs have the lowest shooting percentage out of all the real Pac-12 contenders in basketball. And the Buffs, well, if they do these 3 things, they will win games.
Halfway through the Pac-12 season, our men's basketball team was in a 4-way tie for second place, along with Utah, USC, and Washington, heading into the tournament. This is great news for our men's team. If the Buffs can keep this up, they can for sure hear their name during the announcement on March 13th for the NCAA March Madness tournament. Come out to our next game and show your support on February 11th against Washington State at 8 p.m.
Buffs basketball star Josh Scott has been named a finalist for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Center of the Year Award. Scott leads the team across the board in stats with 17.4 points per game and 9.5 rebounds a game. He also has recorded 11 double-doubles so far this season. Scott will have to continue his strong season to make the final 5 finalists for the award, but more importantly, for Colorado to even have a chance to dance in March.
It takes a team to do something great in sports.
Well, not always.
Yes, always. Sports Mag's best team is here for this week's edition of Double Team. Take it away, team.
Of Double Team, I'm Cyrus Allen here with Alex Doyle and Aaron Greening, and we're going to be talking about all things CU men's basketball today. And now for this show, I'm going to ask each of you a question, and you will both answer it. And at the end of it, I will choose who I think had the better response. I'll give them a point, and at the end of the segment, whoever has the most points will get a high five from me. I know it's a pretty great reward. Try to calm down. And with that, we're going to start. For the first question, Alex, I'll start with you. Do you think that our team right now can win the Pac-12 tournament at the end of the year?
I do. I think that it's going to be very difficult. There's still some tough games coming up against like Arizona and USC. But we're 17-5, so it's not a terrible record at all. We did lose to Iowa State the first game, but that was really it. But I think it'll be tough, but I think that they can pull it out and they will win, and that will also get us into the NCAA tournament.
That'll help. Aaron?
I don't, just because they are playing very difficult teams, and I don't really think they'll get results.
Pac-12 is looking pretty strong this year. I'm going to have to give that point to Alex. On to the next question. Aaron, we'll start with you on this one. Right now, Dominique Collier and George King are shooting at an incredible percentage from beyond the arc. They're, I think, 2 of the top 5 in the Pac-12 right now. Do you think they can sustain that going forward and continue to shoot that well?
I do. I think that they're both really good players, and I think that they're going to finish the season strong. They've both been very consistent.
I disagree. I agree that they're very good players. I don't think there's any argument there, but I think at some point they're going to start to falter a little bit from beyond the arc. It's just really, really difficult in a season as long as this season is, from November till March, to have numbers like they have had. So I think at some point they are going to drop a little bit, but it's only going to be a little. They'll still finish off strong, but they're going to falter just slightly.
Alex, it is true. It is hard, but you got to have faith. Aaron, I got to give a point to you on that one. So we are tied at 1-1. Final question. This is for it, and all it means. Alex, we'll start with you on this one. Do you think in the future, the NBA draft, Josh Scott is going to be a senior this year. He is a senior. He's going to declare. Do you think he'll be drafted in the first round?
I don't think he'll be drafted in the first round, but I think very high second round is where he'll go. And I only say that because he had the injury troubles last year, and so he just couldn't put up some of the numbers that some of the other people in his draft class had been able to put up throughout 4 years.
True.
But he will go second round.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Aaron?
I think he will, because he's really big, he's physical, and he's a good player, and he's been successful in the Pac-12, so why can't he be successful in the NBA?
It's very true. Josh Scott has been a huge player for CU and has been dominant in the Pac-12 for most of his career, but I still have to agree with Alex on that one. That means you win. There it is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's going to be all for us and this segment of Double Team. I'm Cyrus. That's Alex. That's Aaron. Back to you guys at the desk.
The women's basketball team finally had a breakthrough last Sunday. The Buffs got their first win in conference play over the USC Trojans with a 66-63 victory. With the win, Colorado also snapped a 10-game losing streak against Pac-12 competitors. The Buffs held the Trojans to 39% shooting from the field and out-rebounded USC 44-31. Colorado managed to pull off this win without one of their leading sharpshooters, Lauren Higgins, who has been sidelined with a concussion. Colorado is looking to turn the tide for the remainder of the season and head into the offseason on a high note.
Our entire show is based on telling you about people playing games. Running games, kicking games, throwing games, you name it, we got it. You know what though? I'm sick of watching all of them have more fun than me, so I'm going to play my own game. A trivia game. Here's my trivia question to you. How many times has the CU men's basketball team appeared in the NCAA tournament? I hope you win my game. We all see what happens in the movie Saw if you don't win a game.
Coming up after the break, we've got some tennis news for you.
And Jessica Maltnuck is here to talk about women's basketball and their satisfying win against USC last week. Stay tuned.
That was good. Good work. That was funny.
Arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit americansforthearts.org.
No, what'd she say?
She said whatever.
No, she says that all the time.
What's that?
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Who's this? It's me. I'm on the phone. Mom.
Oh, you're on the phone. All right. Sorry. Anyway.
Who are you talking to? Kelly?
Mom.
All right.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Here's my nephew Scruff about to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Well, look at this. Uh-oh, it's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies and guns. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, just write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help take a bite out of crime.
I want it. You know trouble can start when the clock hits 3.
When there's no place after school for kids to be.
Nothing to do but hanging on city streets.
When mom and dad are working to make ends meet. Now it's time to beat the street.
With after-school programs, city kids aren't left alone and vulnerable. They keep on learning between 3 and 6, but these programs need your support. Join with the Urban League to keep them going. Call now, because it's
time to beat the street.
Last night, the Buffs began their home-and-home series, with Colorado traveling to Salt Lake City, Utah, to take on the Utes for the first half of their home-and-home series. Jessica Maltnook has more.
Ten games and 6 weeks later, the Colorado women's basketball team has finally put an end to their losing streak. The team earned their first Pac-12 conference win against USC, 66-63 on Sunday, a game where the team could barely contain their enthusiasm.
And I think we were all just ready to win a game. I think it's been a long time, and you could just tell in the last 30 seconds how excited we were, and everyone was already smiling, and then they're hitting a 3, and you're like, okay, don't smile yet, we might not, but I think it was a huge motivator for us.
But it was no easy feat getting back into the win column.
It's because it's hard to lose that many games in a row. No matter what position you're in, it's hard to lose even one game. So I think that coming into this week, we're all a little more excited and more hyped up for the upcoming games, and we think that we have more of an edge now.
The team is ready to refocus and regroup and start working on the little things, like breaking the press and turnovers. In the past 3 games, the team has averaged over 19 turnovers a game.
When we're calm, we do a great job. We make good passes, we're very fundamental, and we're very smart. When we're rushed and we just let it affect us, then that's when we start making those poor decisions and leading to turnovers.
The team may have fallen to the Utah Utes last night, but they're ready to get back on the home court.
And hopefully sink the win.
Us losing, we also want to get them back even more. It's just going to give us that more momentum, and we have to keep that momentum in order to win.
Reporting for SportsMag, I'm Jessica Maltnook.
Jessica Maltnook is the most athletic reporter at SportsMag. True story. She nailed the half-court shot on her first try. Impressive.
The tennis team heads out to Kansas this weekend for the start of a 1-month-long road trip. They are heading out of town with an overall record of 3-2. Tina Bracua and Nuria Ormeño Ruiz are the singles leaders for the Buffs headed into this trip, and they will need to bring their A games. The Buffs head to Kansas for 2 games this weekend, one against Kansas and one against Kansas State. The Jayhawks are 4-0 heading into the weekend, while K-State is 2-1 on the season so far. Good luck, Buffs.
Earlier this week, one of the CU women's tennis players was honored with the Pac-12 Player of the Week award. Who was this player? Tina Bracua. Bracua is the first CU tennis player that has ever been honored with the award and earned the award after she had a perfect weekend in singles matches. She led the Buffs to a 7-0 victory over Boise State. For the season, Bracua is 9-5 overall in singles matches, including 3-0 at #1 singles.
And then here's Steve Nelson, better known as the poor man's Tanner Bergamo around my apartment, with more tennis news in this week's edition of Buff Banter. The floor is yours, Steve.
What's up, Buff fans? I'm Steve Nelson here with this week's edition of Buff Banter. Even though the men's basketball team is making all the headlines with their recent success, there's another team that's been tearing it up under the radar, the women's tennis team. Right now, this team has a ton of momentum. But before that, unfortunately last Saturday, the team fell by only 1 set to the University of Denver. But the very next day, they moved forward and they have not looked back. The team ran over Boise State with a commanding 7-0 win. And as if this wasn't impressive enough, sophomore sensation Tina Bracua solidified her spot in the CU Athletic history by becoming the first CU tennis player to win Pac-12 Athlete of the Week. She won both her singles matchups over the weekend, which included a thrilling upset against 62nd ranked Julia O'Loughlin of DU. The pair of singles wins bumped her up to an overall singles record of 9-5 this season. This team hasn't been only shining through in singles play, though. In the match against Boise State, Bokua and junior Nuria Ormeño Ruiz dominated in doubles play, as did Ginez Daniel and freshman star Annabelle Andronopoulos. The point is, this group of girls is red hot right now, and their timing could not be better. Their overall record is 3-2, and a month-long road trip lies ahead. Starting on Friday, the team is heading to Kansas to take on the 45th ranked Jayhawks. These Jayhawks are currently tearing it up in singles play, and Bokua and Ruiz will have to bring their A game if they want to see a win. 2 days later, the team will face off against the Kansas State Wildcats. The Wildcats are currently being led by Sarah Castellano, who is ranked 18th regionally. This road trip is going to be anything but easy. But if the Buffs stay on their current roll, they should be able to start the road trip off on the right foot. We wish the tennis team the best of luck as they tackle the tough road ahead. Well, that's all the time I have for Buff Banter today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, CU welcomed in a new class of recruits. Stay tuned to find out who they are.
And Alex Fidger asked some students to make some Super Bowl predictions. Stay tuned. This little sports show will be right back after the break.
What are they crying?
Let's sit down for a second, okay? So hey, Kayla, there's Mary from your class.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Kayla. Come and play.
Oh, sweetie. Why don't you go play with those kids over there?
Why?
Imagine the power of one voice. Find yours at freedomcenter.org.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry.
Pastor Honey? 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Golf Buffs are headed to sunny Hawaii to kick off their season for the 11th straight year. The team is competing in the Amare Hawaii Hilo Invitational this weekend. The tournament is historically one of the toughest of the year, and this year is no exception. 4 of the top 10, 6 of the top 25, and 9 of the top 50 schools will be in attendance and looking to win. Good luck, team. Enjoy the warm weather.
We have some great news involving women's lacrosse. Their first game starts February 12th against the University of Denver, held in Denver at 3 p.m. However, the Buffs' first home game is Thursday, March 3rd, against James Madison at 3 p.m. CU Lacrosse is picked 4th in the MPSF preseason poll. Their season is looking very optimistic as they have returned every player from last year that has scored a goal and started a game. Come out to their first game and support your Buffaloes.
Have I ever won an award? No, but who wants to win an award when you can give one away? The inaugural Joe Paris Athlete of the Week is Buffs basketball star Haley Smith. Haley is a junior on the women's team, and she is really good at basketball. Smith led the Buffs to their first Pac-12 victory of the season against USC, scoring 18 points. Smith is known for being a strong athletic wing with a great jump shot. She also had a big impact on the program throughout her entire career, starting all 32 games and averaging 9.5 points per game. Come out and cheer on your women's basketball team before the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 7th at 12 p.m. against Utah.
Wednesday was National Signing Day, and the Buffs football team got plenty of new talent for the upcoming season. In total, the Buffs collected signatures from 18 players. They come from all over the country, including 2 from Georgia and 4 from California. The first player to sign for the Buffs was Darian Rakestraw, a wide receiver from Woodstock, Georgia. The Buffs had 4 wide receivers sign, all of whom will be looking to try to fill that void left by Nelson Spruce. The team also had several offensive and defensive linemen sign. This will hopefully offer a little more protection for Cepho and the gang, while also wreaking havoc in the opponent's backfield.
Iowa had their caucus on Monday, so we decided to have one too. Alex Vidger hit the UMC to get students psyched for the Super Bowl and this week's Man on the Street.
Hi, my name is Alex Vidger. I'm here at the UMC asking all the Buffs about the Super Bowl. Welcome to another edition of Man on the Street.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
I would like to, but I have a dance practice during that time, so they're not going to let us.
Probably. The Broncos, obviously.
The Broncos.
Obviously, the Broncos.
The Broncos.
(18-26).
I think it's going to be a really close game and probably 3 points either way.
Broncos 28, Panthers 27.
Manning.
Manning.
Osweiler.
What are their mascots?
I think a Bronco would win.
I want to say Panther, but, because I'm a Bronco fan, I'm going to say Bronco.
I feel like a Panther would. They're a little faster, maybe?
Wow, that was really exciting. Looks like all the Buff fans are ready for the Super Bowl. Back to you guys at the desk.
Current Denver Bronco and former Colorado Buffalo offensive tackle Tyler Columbus has a rare opportunity to become part of CU history. This upcoming Sunday, Columbus could become the 50th Buff to be a Super Bowl winner. As of late, 33 different Buffs have accounted for 49 Super Bowl rings. The list begins in 1966 with former CU quarterback Boyd Dowler and could possibly continue with Columbus this Sunday night.
We've got one more block of sports for you, and it includes a list of Buffs who have all got Super Bowl rings.
And also, we have rapid fire.
This house was almost saved from a fire that was almost put out by neighbors who almost volunteered. As generous a nation as we are, sometimes instead of giving, we almost give. But almost giving is the same as not giving at all.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
Listen to me just a second.
I'm a good student.
We don't want to be at your party any more than you want us here.
What could we have done to avoid this?
Keep the noise down so no one complains.
Hey, guys, keep it down. The neighbors are complaining.
Make sure anyone drinking alcohol is at least 21.
You sure you're old enough?
And finally, make sure that you don't have too many people.
Man, that would have been easy. I wish I had known the rules. Now you know. Avoid trouble. Know the rules.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Two former Buffs are on the road to make football history this Sunday at Super Bowl 50. Tyler Columbus and Nick Casa are trying to seal a world championship in Santa Clara with the Denver Broncos this weekend. Now, the University of Colorado ranks 9th all-time among American universities with 90 alumni appearances in the Super Bowl. Of the 90, 33 Buffs have received 49 Super Bowl rings over the years. My favorite punter of all time, Tom Ruin, and his buddy Alfred Williams were teammates at Colorado and both went on to win Super Bowl rings in 1997 and 1998. The two CU legends say that they have faith in the Buffs that will be wearing orange and blue this weekend.
You better check the batteries in your smoke detector, folks, because Forrest Cobble is here to tell you about the upcoming CU sporting events in this week's edition of Rapid Fire.
What's happening, Buff fans? I'm Forrest Cobble, and I'm about to blow you off your feet with this week's super stacked Super Bowl version of Rapid Fire. Now, it's not often that the local team makes it all the way to America's biggest game. Okay, maybe it is. But that's not going to stop me from talking some Broncos football. First things first, you'll want to tune into some of the pregame shows and catch at least a few of the special interviews going on. Rumor has it that Derek Jeter and Kobe Bryant will be making appearances on NFL Game Day morning, and CBS will be sitting down with the President and the First Lady. Of course, you can't forget to follow a little bit of Buffs action. The women's basketball team will tip off at 12 against Utah. The moment we've all been waiting for, though, is Super Bowl kickoff, which is scheduled for 6:30. In case you live under a rock, the matchup is between the Panthers and the Broncos. Finally, you won't want to miss the halftime show, which will feature Coldplay, Beyonce, and Bruno Mars. That's pretty groovy. Well, that's all the time I have for Rapid Fire. Until next time, back to you guys at the desk.
Now to the answer to that trivia question we know you've all been wondering about. To remind you, the viewers, the question we asked: how many times has the CU men's basketball team appeared in the NCAA tournament? And the answer is 13. The last time the Buffs appeared in the tournament was 2014 when they lost in the first round at Pittsburgh. Although back in 2003, the Buffs were able to secure a spot in the Sweet 16 before losing to Villanova by 2. They hope to get back there again this year.
This is a tweet from this week. This is Tweet of the Week. There's never a dull moment with CU's linebackers coach Jim Leavitt. He also loves throwing back Pepsi whenever he can. That's apparent in this tweet, in which he writes, "Great day. Had lemon Coke and Pepsi at 4 a.m. Now chugging a full liter of Pepsi. Clayton fainted while filming. I'm trying to revive him." Well, looks like somebody is excited about the football team's recent commitments. One word, coach: diabetes. You know, Joe, I love the Super Bowl. But you know what I like even more? The Puppy Bowl. I just love those puppies.
They're so cute. All kinds of puppies just running around, being cute. I also love the Super Bowl commercials as well.
Oh, me too, Joe. I really hope they air our commercial this year.
Yeah, me too. We literally spent 3 years developing a commercial for our dating app called Date CU Sports Mag Anchors.
It's still in development, but engineer Greg O'Brien has got it into beta. So it's coming out soon, ladies. Well, that's all we got, folks. I hope you enjoyed all of our shenanigans.
Enjoy the Super Bowl. I'll be crying, win or lose. Go Broncos. Good night and good luck.